Red Dead Bounty Hunter series or permadeath gameplay sessions. The Red Dead Bounty Hunter series was a pretty simple concept, basically just trying to get your bounty as high as you can. So the focus isn't on doing missions or doing the story or anything else. You just literally play the game just to try to raise your bounty as high as possible, and you'll constantly get attacked by law enforcement in the process. And so if you die, originally your bounty goes back to 0 and you have to restart the whole thing. But then I adjusted it later on because that seemed too unfair, where if you die, you have to go back to where you started that day. So I did the same thing as Skyrim. It's like a permadeath session. In both of these cases, it seems too unfair. Like, if you played Skyrim for over 2,000 hours, you're not going to delete the character just because you die. So a true permadeath doesn't really work, but you can do it permadeath by each session, meaning you play the game for 5 hours one day, let's say, you can only save it at the very end when you're about to stop playing. So if you die 2 hours in, you're going to lose that 2 hours of progress and go back to where you started. So that's a good way to still put pressure and add meaning and weight to dying, where there's actually a penalty behind it, whereas otherwise there might not be if you're constantly saving it. So with the bounty system, it's the same thing. Like, let's say you start at 20,000 bounty, you play for 3 hours, you get up to 25,000, then you die, and then you play for another 2 hours to get it back to 25. You would have gotten a total of 10,000, but you only get to keep 5 because you failed somewhere in the middle there, and you're never going to be able to plan around for it. Like, oh, you can just quit if you feel like you're about to die. You have to end the encounter and actually stop playing.